All right, friends, welcome to tonight's team call. Tonight is Wednesday, September 20th, 2017. I am beyond pumped for our speaker tonight. I know that whenever I get to hear Emilie talk, it always fires me up. And this woman is truly incredible. Blow your mind statistics, but beyond that, just the person that she is, she's amazing. So before we go into that, I want to first give my new coach, Connie, a shout out. She has signed up 3 coaches in her last month, which is absolutely amazing. She has 3 more that are getting ready to rock and roll. She is starting her first challenge group in October by herself, and I think that is absolutely amazing. So major props to you, Connie. I think that's incredible. I also want to give my new coach, Katie, a shout out. She is going to be posting tonight an incredibly vulnerable story from her past with the goal of inspiring others. I just think that's so cool. So major props to Katie. Does anyone have any other props they want to give before I go into a couple quick announcements? No? Okay, quick announcements. So the first is we have our sneak peek. I think there's a ton of people in there right now, but if you guys don't have your new prospects into the coach sneak peek, that started today and goes into tomorrow. So people that are interested in the coaching opportunity, make sure to get them into the sneak peek. Super Saturday is this weekend. Leaders don't miss events. Leaders make it to events. They find a way. Even if you have to go on Friday or Sunday, find a way to a Super Saturday event in your area. If you don't know what the heck Super Saturday is, if you're brand new, shoot me a message and we can talk about it. But Super Saturday events are game changers because all of a sudden it becomes not just you and a computer screen and some person that signed you up. All of a sudden it's you and the network of Beachbody coaches, and you become part of something much, much bigger. Another announcement is the All Access Challenge Pack was originally going to be ending the promotion of $160 at the end of, I think, this month. That has been extended through December. So the $160 price point is good to go through December. But other than that, let me introduce my dear friend, Emilie. Emilie is one of those people that every time you talk to her, you leave with a smile on your face. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, Emilie. That's just the truth. Every time Emilie and I get to hang out at an event, it's always just such a great time. And I go over with the intention of saying hi, but we end up talking for 3 hours about just life and everything, about how her family's doing. And it's amazing. One of the coolest things about Emilie is that she's so humble. She's achieved so much with the Beachbody coaching business. I learn from her every time that I chat with her, and it's truly a privilege to have her on the call. Emilie is a 14-star Diamond coach. She is the 2017 Leadership Award recipient, which means Carl Deichler handpicked her, meaning the CEO of Beachbody handpicked Emilie to win this award out of all the 500,000 coaches or 400,000 coaches or whatever it is. As the person that best exemplified leadership in the entire network, which is an incredible. I know that she is humbled by that, but truly she deserves it. She is an executive leader on the leadership ladder. If you guys don't know what the leadership ladder is, check your online office. That's the highest rung you can go on as far as the leadership ladder goes within the Beachbody community. She is a 3-time elite coach. She is this is insane. 4-time Team Cup champion. Thousands of teams do this Team Cup every quarter. And Emilie has led her team of 5 coaches to win the Team Cup 4 times, which is the most in the entire network. And just truly amazing work ethic there. She's hit over Success Club 10 for 57 consecutive months. She is not only 14-star in her first business center, but she's 2-star in her second business center and 1-star in her husband's business center. Truly amazing accomplishments. And one of the things that she does so well is she leads. She leads not only her team, but leads herself. And it's just amazing to watch her business grow. She's actually on our same team, our bigger team, which is incredible. We're actually teammates for Bob Lucido's big downline. But I want to introduce Emilie to talk to you guys tonight about leading yourself, right? We go into it, we need to build this big monstrous business, and we want this to explode as fast as we possibly can. But along the way, we sometimes miss that we need to lead ourselves first if we're going to lead other people. And that's why I wanted Emilie to come talk to us tonight. So I'm going to shut up because I know you don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from her. Emilie, you can take it away, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. First of all, Brad, where can I start? Everything you just said about me, I think the same of you. You guys are so blessed to have Brad as your leader. I just love people that have big hearts and they're very authentic and just like transparent, and when it feels good to be around these people. And I think Brad is just the perfect example for that. When I mentioned to our lead calls, which was like freaking amazing, everybody loved it. And one of my leaders said, "Oh, we love Brad. He makes us feel so good." And I could send you the screenshot of that, but that's French. But I swear this is the real translation. And there's something to be said about that. And I will quote Maya Angelou for that. People won't always remember what you said or what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And for me, this is what I try to lead with first. My energy, what I bring to the table. Hopefully tonight you're feeling this, that my intentions are really to inspire you and make you feel good. I want you guys to come out of this call and feel good and know that you have everything that you need to be successful. You have everything within you to build this business. Everything is already there, and you don't have to doubt yourself. You really should believe in yourself and know that everything is already there. It is a journey to discover who you are throughout this amazing business, but everything is already inside of you. I've been a coach for 4.5 years. I started as a coach like everybody else. I did not really know what I was doing. I jumped in not knowing what this business was all about, not really knowing what I wanted with it. But one moment when I dropped my son at daycare, when I got back to work after maternity leave, is when my big why kicked in. And this is when my clarity kicked in too, when I decided to really build a solid vision, a strong why that made me cry so I can go and follow through the hardships and the challenges that life was going to throw at me through this business and building this business. So I'm not going to go into details into my story, but I remember listening to the National Wake Up Call every week. I'm from Canada, French Canadian. When I started, there wasn't any French leader to look up to. There wasn't really many leaders in Canada that I could look up to because we were just starting. But I did get a lot of inspiration from the network itself, going on a National Wake Up Call and listening to these calls and thinking, man, this is someone just like me. This is a mom like me who just had the desire to build a business. And so I want to talk to you about 6 things today. And that's kind of funny because I was telling my husband about that this afternoon. I was taking notes. And I remember last year, Brad, I posted in the Bearcat wall. I asked about personal development recommendations, and you had recommended The Golden Ticket by Brendon Burchard. And, these books, like there's certain books that you read and it's like a moment in your life. Like you'll always remember where you were sitting, how you felt. Certain books you read, you don't really remember so much, but I remember how that book made me feel. And I always remember that you had recommended it. And I knew Brendon Burchard before, but I really got back to following him. And when you asked me to talk about leading yourself, I remembered this amazing presentation that we had at Summit about the 6 areas that we can focus on, that we can improve our performance. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. Those 6 areas that I think have helped me so much to focus on. Yeah, the workshop was amazing. And his book is out. I just ordered it. I'm like, I forgot about his book, but now I just ordered it. And so the first thing, so basically he came up with 6 areas in your life or in your business that you should be strong at if you want to succeed. And the first one is clarity. So all the high performers, let's say the top 15% in any industry, they have a really big sense of clarity, which means they have a strong vision. They have a really clear vision of what they want, who they are, where they're going, and why they're doing what they do. And for me, that brings me to another concept by Simon Sinek, which is to start with why, which is something that I think we overlook so much in our business, in our life. So to always remind ourselves why we're doing what we're doing and to lead with that. So most people will talk about the what, the how, but they're not going to dive in the why. And we're going to be on surface. And great leaders inspire with their why. They inspire with what they believe in, what their values are, what their philosophy is. And if you don't know what your values are, what's important to you, what's your vision of life, what's your definition of happiness, where you're going, why you're coach, if you can't put words on it, imagine how difficult for you it becomes to communicate it with other people. So this sense of clarity, it has to become something like a second nature. So I would encourage you, if you haven't done that homework yet, to sit down and really make time to write down, what are your core values? What do you believe in? What's important to you? Why you're coaching? There's something inside of you that you might not want to tell the world because it's scary to really admit what you're striving for. We don't want to fail. We don't want to fall. But if you're not making that clear statement of your life mission, for me, Beachbody is the vehicle that I use to actually apply what my life mission is. My life mission is to inspire others to reach their full potential. And how do I do that? I work every single day and I aspire to reach my full potential every single day. I work towards becoming the better version of myself. This is something that I drill every single day on my social media, in my team. When I recognize my coaches, how we're always striving to become the better version of ourselves and how we aspire to inspire people to reach their full potential. So Beachbody's got their own mission statement. We want to lead a healthy, fulfilling lives, which is an amazing mission statement. But I would really recommend that you come out with your own mission statement. And it can change with time. Actually, it should change with time because you're going to be growing. But this is something that needs to be really like engraved in your heart and something you're going to be leading with every single day. Write it down, put it everywhere. Remind yourself of how important it is for you to check in your business every single day and what you truly aspire to do. And for me, like the sense of clarity is what really inspires people. I don't think people buy a challenge pack from me because they want to drink a shake and work out mostly. I think they are inspired by my journey online and what I share about and how I put my why and how I focus on why it's important for me to take care of myself. It's important for me to take care of myself because I want to be a better mom. I want to be a better spouse. I want to be a better human being. And in my definition of happiness, you have to be healthy to reach your full potential and be happy, essentially. So therefore, I have to be working out. I have to be moving. I don't believe that human beings are made to be sitting on a chair all day long. In fact, just look at the kids. I have 3 kids, 5, 3, and 1. They're moving a lot. This is human's nature. We have to move. Of course, if we have the ability to do it. And we need to fuel our body with proper nutrition so we have the clarity in our head. So it's not just about physical clarity too, a physical energy. It's also mentality, your mentality too. You have to have that clarity with your mentality. So first thing I would say, if you haven't taken time to really write down your mission statements, or really go in your journal and write down what's important to you, what you believe in, what's your vision of life, and no one's judging you. You know what's amazing? One of the amazing things about this business is you discover yourself, you learn to embrace who you are, and you stop saying, what can I do more so you like me more? And you start being who you are, and you attract people like you. When you're putting the fear aside and you're like, you know what? I'm going to be me, and I don't care what people say. The people that are like me are going to be attracted by what I believe in. And in the end, I end up working with customers that become my friends and become coaches who are my best friends because we believe in the same thing. It's so much easier to work with them. It's just they become my best friend. I don't choose my friends because they're coaches. It just happens that we share the same values and we believe in the same thing. And the reason why they connect with me on that level is because I share openly what I believe in on a consistent basis. And I'm talking more than nutrition and working out. I'm talking about everything in life, really. One thing I would emphasize on, though, the way that we're sharing what we believe in is so key to. I'm never trying to say, this is the truth. I have found the truth, and this is how you should live your life, right? I don't like being told what to do. In fact, if someone tells me what to do, I'm like, no, I'm going to do the opposite. So, of course, tonight I'm asked to tell you about what works for me, and that's how I perceive it. So, I share what works for me. And if people resonate with that, they can apply some of the tips and tricks that I share. But other than that, I'm not here to say this is how you should live your life, but I'm going to share what has been working for me. It's very important. And when I'm on social media, I use my own example. I'm not talking down to people. I'm not saying, you do this, you do that. I feel like it's such a turn off. So the way that we communicate is also super important. So that leading yourself first is starting with having that strong sense of clarity. It starts with you. You cannot communicate what you're trying to achieve in this world and in your business if you don't have that sense of clarity. So starting by leading yourself, writing down that mission statement. The second point is your general energy. Thank you. I like reading the comments. Cool. So your energy level, and this is huge. This is like everything. Like, for real, you guys, you're not going to remember what I talked about today in a year from now. It's true. And let's just think, if you've been to school, you remember a teacher that you really liked. You won't remember that teacher because they taught you theories and all kinds of stuff. You remember because how they made you feel. That's what you're going to remember. And I'm a true believer of our vibe attracts our tribe, and you gotta take care of that. You gotta take ownership for your energy. What do you bring to the table? Are you the one that's super energetic, positive, the one that's smiling, the one that's accepting of people, the one that's empathetic? Are you that person, or are you the person that's closed-minded, negative, that sucks the life out of people? I'm not saying that what you are, but you know how it is. There's certain people, you're just around them and you're like, man, I just feel good. I want more Brad in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that we don't see. We can't pinpoint it. It's just the way that we feel. And we can work on that. We can work on our energy levels, and we can prime ourselves. When I go into team calls, or when I go and I speak on stage, or when I go and I write a post, I really take time to set my intentions, right? What am I trying to do? And And again, it's starting with clarity, right? What's my message? What do I want people to feel at the end of my post? And sometimes I just start writing and it's not really clear, but, crafting it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. This is the message. This is how I want people to feel. And it starts with me leading my own energy. So again, the energy level on not just physical, but also mentally, spiritually. And that's something that you have to take care of, take ownership for. And one of the first things that I learned when I started this business, reading my first personal development book within the business, because I had read a few before that, was The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. Quite a thick book, but it got me started so well. And the first principle, and that's something I drill down on the team and drill down on my social media, is accepting full responsibility for your life, right? So that for me ties to leading yourself, because you have to take responsibility for your life. If I'm always blaming circumstances, other people, I'm attacking things that I have no control on. The only thing I can control is my attitude, my actions, my choices, my energy. This is what I have control on. The rest I can't control. So I should work with what I can control. And so energy level, we have everything to make our energy levels to the top. We have nutrition, we have workouts, we have personal development, and it's personal development. So sometimes it's not the book or the podcast that you feel like listening to, but that's the one that scares you, because that's the one that's going to bring you to work on things that you might have put aside. And maybe you're super zen and you're like super peaceful, but maybe you need a book like the 10X Rule to kick your butt a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you're super type A, you can't stop, you're always trying to work. Maybe you need something like, I don't know, like The Universe Has Your Back. I've been reading a kind of book like Adventures for Your Soul. Like, these are the books I've been reading recently, because I felt like I really needed to reconnect, to just have good energy, because I was a bit overworked, and then I was losing the spark. I was losing the joy in what I was doing. So you have to be aware of your energy, where you're at in your life, and what you need to bring in your life so you can increase that energy level. So also being very honest with ourselves, being able to look at ourselves in the mirror and know exactly what we should be working on, what would be beneficial to increase our energy. The next point is about raising necessity. So how necessary is it for you to be successful in this business? For real. Do you have a plan B? And I'm like, that's totally fine if you're building this as a side income, or you're more of a hobby coach. I mean, I'm the one who screams out loud that there's room for everybody in this business, and you decide what you want to make out of it. But we have to have consistent actions with our goals, right? Our actions need to meet our aspirations, not what we talk about. If we do aspire to build a solid business, an income that we can rely on, that's going to become our main income, that's going to provide for our family, then we need to have that sense of necessity. How necessary is it for you to succeed? For me, it's a no-brainer. I'm never going back to work for someone else. Unless I decide, and it's like a specific, I don't ever want to get back to that place where someone else is telling me what to do. I don't like being told what to do. I love being in charge of my schedule. And I want to provide for my family. I know I'm I'm a lot happier now that I'm an entrepreneur. And even though it is ups and downs and it is a roller coaster, the rewards are so worth it for me, the freedom that I have. So it is absolutely necessary for me to keep growing, to keep working on myself, to keep making sure that I can provide for my family, and that there won't be stress caused by finances even though I have no control in that, but I'm working towards not having that stress. It's not necessary for me. I think we shouldn't have this burden on our shoulders, yet so many of us have that burden, or we were raised with that burden. I saw my parents fight a lot about finances. I think it's a very common thing. So yes, it's very necessary for me to be successful in this business. I don't see myself sitting down and just looking at my team. I can't be doing that. That doesn't work like that. It might work for a little while, then everything crumbles. Anyways, I love what I do, and I take it to heart, and I take responsibility for, leading the way. So I'm not going to sit back and just watch other people work. I want to create the path for newer coaches, and I need to keep my knife sharp. Things are changing. Soon it's going to be 5 years I'm in this business. I can't be doing the same things I was doing 5 years ago. It's not working. I can't be complaining about it. That's the job of the entrepreneur, is to keep innovating, keep adapting, keep, renewing yourself. The next point is to increase productivity. If we want coaches that rock, we better rock ourselves. I mean, we can't ask our coaches to do things that we don't do. And we might say, do this and do that, or this is how I built my business. But people feel when what you're saying don't match what you're doing. And not just that, I mean, results speak loud. And I understand that sometimes we struggle, and I get that certain coaches will do exactly what they need to be doing. Sometimes they're just not patient enough or persistent enough. But in most cases, if you're not seeing the results that you think you deserve, there might be a tweak or a little something, or like you need to put that mirror in your face and be like, am I really doing exactly what I should be doing? Like, am I really investing my time in the most important activities that will bring results to my business? Or am I procrastinating? Am I finding all kinds of things to do before I get all these invites done? Because at the end of the day, if we're not talking to people, if we're not inviting people, if we're not connecting with people, if we're not converting them to a customer or a coach, we're not building a business. It doesn't matter how many likes we get on a post. It doesn't matter. If we're not converting to coaches and customers, we're actually regressing. I don't believe in status quo. For me, you're either growing or you're dying. And I feel like this is our responsibility to produce. And I always have higher standards for myself too, developing better tools, getting better at certain skills so I can produce more, so I can show my team too that I'm always working on becoming a better coach. I can produce results and increase even productivity if I want. Last month for Team Cup, I had my highest success club ever. I'm not doing that all the time for Team Cup. In fact, I don't know if I'll ever beat that record because that's pretty crazy. But when I go into Team Cup as an example, for me, it's a challenge. So I'm always telling coaches, and I'm going to challenge myself for something. If it's not success club points, it's going to be something else. Maybe I'm going to want to be, doing a challenge where I'm going to be live every single day for the month. Whatever it is, take something that scares you or something that you want to work on and challenge yourself to do it with excellence. And that, I didn't mention that point on the excellence, but the necessity point, it's also the necessity to deliver with excellence and the necessity to improve consistently. So how important for you it is to be excellent at what you're doing. The top performers always strive to be excellent and to deliver. Fifth point is to develop influence. And this one is huge because people will buy from people that inspire them. They will buy from people that they like, know, and trust. And so you have to become that influencer. And how do you do that? I'm so thankful for my first summit because I got to see John C. Maxwell. And I remember listening to an audio from him after, and he's the king of leadership, right? And I remember hearing him saying, leadership is influence, and how we influence people is by adding value to their life, right? So are you adding value to people's life? For me, mostly everything I do is on social media. Like, this is my strength. I've been building my business on Facebook. 99% of my customers and coaches are people that met me on my page. And the way that I'm aspiring to add value to people is by first sharing my journey and really sharing what I learned through my experiences in life, various experiences. And I'm not saying that to brag or like it's not about that. But, you know, most people, when they message me, the first thing that they will say, the typical phrase like, hi, Emilie, I've been following you for this, and I think you're so inspiring. So you don't tell me, oh, I think you look good in your workout outfit. You know, it's not about that. I don't know exactly what I do on my page, but I know some of the things that I do is I'm very open, I'm very transparent, and I'm just trying to be me and share what has been working for me and be an open book. And I feel like I trust people who are going to stick around, that are going to like me. And because I am vulnerable and I share certain areas in my life that I never thought I would be able to share publicly, but I do it because I know this is the way to connect with people, and this is the way to inspire them, to make them see that it's possible for them, to see that we're just the same people, and we go through the same struggles, and we go through the same challenges. And then they come to me and they open up in those messages. Because I've been opening up and I've been transparent, not judgmental on my page, they feel like they can open up. They can, trust me. And people trust you when you start adding value to their life. So it's more than just saying how Shakeology has improved your digestion, which is great. I mean, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about the workouts, but it's beyond that. We have to go deeper. This week's National Wake Up Call, Megan, I think her name is, she did a really good job about talking about how to go deeper in your post. Like, you need to talk about your feelings, how you're feeling, how it makes you feel that you woke up this morning and you didn't press on snooze and you're so proud of yourself. You never thought you would be that morning person. That's relatable. We're like, oh my gosh, 5 years ago, I never thought I would wake up at 5 a.m. by choice, and I would be freaking happy I did it. But you know what? I'm here to show you that we can change. And I never thought I would be a morning person. In fact, I always said, I'm not a morning person, but when I decided to change my mindset about it and realize that I could change if I wanted to, truly, then that's when I was able to wake up in the morning and feel energized. So, I mean, it's a lot. It has a lot to do with being able to open up and being transparent on social media. For me, that's been a big way for me to develop relationships and connect with people. The final one is to demonstrate courage. And that's another one. I mean, Brendan Bouchard knows what he's talking about. I always talk about stepping out of our comfort zone. Right now I'm reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a... And I just started it. And I really love what he's talking about. He's talking about how in our society, we're striving to be happy, and sometimes our definition of happiness is pretty distorted. We think that happiness is the absence of of struggle. It's the absence of pain, of suffering, but that's just life. Life includes pain, includes suffering. And in fact, when we learn to accept that and just understand that it is part of life, that we cannot appreciate the light if we haven't seen the darkness, that it's a constant imbalance. We're strive to be balanced, but that's such an illusion to think that we can just be suspended like that and be perfectly balanced. And so sometimes I see coaches or people joining this business and they feel resistance, right? They get objections. It's not going their way. And then the first thing that I can hear is like, this is not made for me. It should be easier. If it was made for me, then I would succeed, right? It would be easier. It's not my way. When in fact, I believe that life is just sending us these challenges as opportunity to grow. And whatever we do, if we're not taking the challenge, embracing it, and look at fear in the face and say, you know what, I'm ready, let's do this, and I want to improve. I know I need to step out of my comfort zone to grow. If you don't do that, life's going to keep sending you the same exact challenges in different situations. It's not about Beachbody. Beachbody doesn't make you feel a certain way. Beachbody doesn't make you feel like you can't do this or can't do that. This is something that you carry with yourself, right? And you're going to carry in other areas. So demonstrating courage, I think, is something that I've been running with since day one. It was scary for me to start off in a market that's 100% French with tools that were 100% English, nothing in French. We had no customer service in French, no documents in French, nothing, like zero. We translated everything. I mean, we just figured it out, right? And it was scary for me to host my first Super Saturday because I had just moved across the country, didn't know a soul there. And I was asked by my friend and mentor, Arnaud Nakara, you know what, Emilie? I think you should host a Super Saturday. But my necessity was so high. It was so necessary for me to succeed. And I trusted Arnaud, and I knew he was saying that for a good reason. I said, you know what? I don't know anybody, but I'm going to host a Super Saturday. And I did. I think we were like 10. And I was so nervous. English is not my first language either. So doing my first national wake-up call, going on stage, speaking in English, I mean, I've become better. I became better at it. See, I'm still making mistakes. But this is not as natural for me to go and speak English when French is my native tongue, right? I mean, you would know if you learn a second language. I learned English when I met my husband 10 years ago, but he's French too, so I didn't have it wasn't necessary for me to be fluent. Beachbody has helped me so much, because I knew if I wanted to be asked to be on the national wake-up call, which, by the way, was not for me to have like my name out there. For me, I remember thinking, if I'm asked to be talking on a national wake-up call, it's because my business is going well. Like, my business is thriving. So for me, it was just a result of my business growing. I was like, okay, I want to be asked to be on a national wake-up call because that means that my business is going well. And so yeah, demonstrating courage and always stepping out of your comfort zone, doing that single thing that scares you, and then it becomes like a game. Once you get that and you do it once, you're like, man, it wasn't that scary at all. Like, what's next? Give me more. And for me, like, when you overcome a challenge, you're just built the foundation to accept a bigger challenge. It's like, and then you get the bigger reward too. So, I mean, if you want the big reward, you got to be ready to take the big risk in the challenge and, go where there is uncertainty and trying new things. And I run with that even more during Team Cup. Like, I will try new things that I never did. As an example, for last Team Cup, I launched a new concept for my challenge groups, which was something that was deep in my heart for months, but I was scared to put it out there because I didn't know if it would get traction. Like, I had a good way to attract customers. Like, I was doing really good with certain types of posts, which were more like rock your bikini type of posts. And then I was going like with a challenge group that was really personal development oriented. Like, the title was Win of Change. And it was like the whole concept was about bringing all of my learnings from the last 5 years in personal development and sharing that with people. That's what they were signing up with. They were getting a challenge pack, getting workout, drink Shakeology, but they were getting me and my concepts that I learned for 5 years. I was like, I don't know if anyone is going to actually sign up for this. I don't know. Maybe people they just want to rock their bikini. I'm not sure. But because it aligned with what I had been sharing on my page, which were my values, my philosophy, what has helped me in the last years, it did take off. In fact, I had so many people, this is one of the best group I've ran. The feedback is outstanding, but I was scared to put it out there. I was like, okay, it's Team Cup. I need to make sure that I have something that's going to turn people to sign up, because I wanted to win. We wanted to win, and we did win. But yeah, so always, and then you know what? This is like, because it worked so well, now it's like, okay, this is going to become something bigger than I envisioned. Like, I want to have like a Win of Change, like VIP group for life, where I can provide value for people who did experience the challenge group with all my videos, personal development, and concepts and lessons that improved my life and shaped me. And so if I didn't take that chance to do something new, step out of my comfort zone and go a way that I haven't seen anyone around me did, and like go with something very unique to who I am. And that's one thing too. I mean, you all have like specific strengths and unique talents, and you need to really work on that, because people are not going to buy a challenge pack. They're going to buy Michelle. They're going to buy Jessica. They're going to buy Brad. And no one can compete with you. I mean, no one could take my personal development journey away from me. No one could copy me. No one could say, I'm going to do like Emilie did. Like, I'm going to copy paste her challenge group post, because a lot of people commented on it, unless they have to bring the same concept and but they chose to join because of me. And you all have certain talents, certain gifts that you have. And I truly believe that one of our main mission in life is to discover those gifts and find a way to make the world benefit from them, you know? And for me, that's been what I hope to do every single day, is to inspire people to find their own gifts. And whatever it is, it might not be to join Beachbody, but I hope, in fact, I did say that on my sneak peek this week. I'm hosting a sneak peek, and I said, I don't care you sign up or not. I just hope that whatever you feel like after watching this series of videos, that if you feel that, there's something deep in your heart that you've always wanted to accomplish, and you're like, man, I'm going to take that step, then I did my job. It's beyond Beachbody. It's beyond 2 Success Club points. For me, it's like, okay, I can die and think, you know what? I think I did a good job. I think I hope my kids will be proud of me. And I'm going to stop now, because this is when I would cry. That's what I had for you guys.
I just want to hug you. A big, massive hug. It was incredible. I mean, I have so many notes and had a lot of light bulb moments. Talking with Jessica Vandenberg on here, she's my mentor. And a lot of the things that you said, she was pounding into my head this week too. And so it's like coming in from multiple angles and just so many amazing aha moments. And so I can't even summarize this into a couple of points. I'm just incredibly grateful for what you said. And so like, yeah, I have nothing to add just besides that my mind was blown from that. Because we have a lower number of people than we normally do on our call, we can actually do like questions like where people actually ask instead of typing them. Does anyone have any questions? Raise your hand. You guys have questions. Amanda's got one. Go for it, Amanda.
Hi. Am I unmuted or you do it? You did it. Okay. Of course I have questions. I always have questions. Thank you so much for your call. I'm really, I want to look at you, not Brad. So hold on. Let me move it. Sorry, Brad. For some reason it was showing me you. I'm like, oh, I love you, man. But my question for you is, I feel your passion, and it's just really an honor to have you speak, because I just feel like very fired up just listening to you. But my question is, I know that I can't create that fire in my coaches for them that I feel or that you feel, but I can nurture it or inspire them to find their own somehow. Hold on, please. How do you, hold on, I'm on this call. Sorry, 7-year-olds don't listen. How do you find that? I guess I'm looking for a way to find for my coaches to really feel that fire and get that. I'm making beats. Sorry, I'm doing the ultimate reset. I can't even concentrate. Like to ignite that fire in them and help them find their, not so much, I mean, something beyond just finding their why, you know, something to make them feel that, like you said, that up the necessity, mm-hmm. Right? How, is there a way or any advice or helpful tips you have on helping them up the necessity for their own vision? Because I don't want them to just want to further my vision, and I have a lot of coaches who love me and want to help with my vision, but I want them to find their own fire too, so that I can help fuel that.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like I'm kind of stuck with my coaches where they're kind of on my bus more than I'm on theirs, you know. And I want to get them over that hump.
Okay, let me think. Do you openly share with your team your level of necessity, like how necessary it is for you to be successful in this business? Probably
not. I probably don't do that as much as I should.
Because we talk about like igniting the fire in them, but mm-hmm. I don't think we have that ability. The only fire you can ignite is your own. And I mm-hmm. think that's what becomes contagious, right? Mm-hmm. So, and at the end of the day, too, not everybody's going to have the same fire as we do. Not everyone's mm-hmm. going to commit to that. And I, at one point, I just accepted that, right? That I have to meet people where they are, and I'm not going to push anything on them. And people come in, people leave, people commit, then they stop, and then they go up and down. The truth is, it's very rare that we see extremely consistent people like for years. So, mm-hmm. And then I was talking to one of my friends and top leader this afternoon, and it's funny, like how I always come back to, okay, I look at my top leaders, I'm like, how did we connect? How did they get inspired to join my team? And at the end of the day, the top ones are the self-reliant ones, right? They're the ones that are already ready. I don't have to ignite the fire in them. Mm-hmm. I do believe we have a responsibility as leaders to lead by example and create that environment for growth and getting people together. But I'm very quick to kind of letting people spread their wings if they want to. And I guess maybe because also it's the way that I was brought in the business. My upline didn't really develop so much, and I never expected anybody to come and cheer me up, right? I mean, hey, go, Emilie, you can do it. So I know that's my responsibility, and I do it with my coaches, but I feel like the real work is to continue to be you, ignite that fire, and then inspire people outside to new people that will get what you're striving for. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean,
it does. I think you really made a good point, because as far as like I mean, I share on my own page, but as far as with my team, I don't think I do a great job of sharing my own level of necessity, because when you were saying like, I can't go back to this, I was like, yes, I was like hitting the table. So like it is contagious. And I think I kind of err, because I want to be a good leader. Sometimes I err on the side of not showing stress, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to feel like this is a stressful thing, or that this is like life or death for me, even though it feels like it is sometimes. And maybe it's probably better to share that than to try and censor myself with them, because I don't censor myself with my regular page, with my regular fitness post, my regular this. So why would I do it with my team?
Sometimes we sugarcoat it, but at the end of the day, your leaders that will emerge, they need to know what it takes to get there. That's the roadmap. And the truth is, this business gonna hit you in the face. I mean, you're gonna, I became even more bold about that on social media and in my sneak peeks, and just, being very transparent. And again, not saying that's the way that everybody should take, but I know I've pushed my limits to certain levels where sometimes it might have been too much. But looking back now, I'm like, I don't see it as a sacrifice. I think it just got me to where I am. So at the end of the day, we don't have to tell everybody everything to our brand new coaches. You don't want to scare, but like the ones that say that want to build a really successful business, I think there's something to be said about transparency and what it really takes.
Yeah.
And I don't know about hitting Success Club 6 being enough sometimes. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. I feel for me, this is like you're paying for your own Shakeology, but is that what you want? If that's what you want, then that's fine. But if you're telling me, hey, Emilie, I want to quit my job and I want to provide for my family, then. But again, there might be coaches out there who would say, no, I built my business with hitting Success Club 6 consistently, and it's wonderful. That's not what I've experienced, so I can't speak for that. But I know there are people out there. So I really think I don't want to overthink it. Like, this is me. This is what I did. I can't say another way works, because this is not what I've experienced. I can bring in other people on my team call and be like, okay, share your own journey. Maybe that worked for you. But me as the leader of my team, I can't pretend that I've done it a different way. Then I'm not being transparent.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have a question from Adrian that he wants to know, what is one of the worst mistakes you've made through your coaching career that we should watch out for?
Oh, wow. Oh, thanks for the challenge. Like, now I'm going to bring the courage level high. Okay, one of the biggest mistakes, all right, yeah. Cruising or trying to surf the wave for too long. Honestly, that's it. I had this talk with Damien today, my husband's name, Damien. There was a part like when we hit like certain goals, and maybe I became complacent a little bit about the business, and didn't feel like I had to work on myself so much anymore, because I had the income that was coming, and it was fun for a little while, but it doesn't last. Like there's only so much time you can do just enjoying what you have. Like I mean, at one point, it's a human need to want to contribute, and I didn't feel like I was contributing anymore. So I felt I was just taking and not giving. So I think, and then again, the word mistake is something that I don't like to use, because then I'm getting, like, if I acknowledge what this period of my life was and I learned from it, and I'm not going to put blinders on and be like, oh, everything is perfect and everything I do is just, but in the grand scheme of things, in my beliefs, everything is perfect. If you read the book, The Four Agreements, like when he talks about everything being perfect, like it challenges our mindset about our vision of life. But Damien system, my friend. Yeah, I think that's something that I did, and then I paid the price for it too. But after that, it was hard to come back from that. And I'm not saying that I didn't do anything, but I did do the cruise control. You know, not pushing my boundaries or not working at becoming a better person, a better coach. And I didn't win at that at all. So, yeah, that would be the first one that comes to my head. Because if I really start thinking, then I can spend the night telling you about things that I did that I shouldn't have done.
All right, guys, one last question. Jesse, it looks like you have a question. That's a smile. That's a yes.
I know that a lot of people that will listen to the recording, thank you so much anyways for being on the call, number one. But a lot of people like to hear, like, what are the consistent things that you do every day? So you are a very high success club achiever, and but also an amazing leader. So for a newer coach, or say, you know, in the first few months or whatever year, somebody trying to find that traction, what does your to-do list or schedule look like? Not necessarily schedule, to-do list look like, of the things that you spend most of your time on every single day to help as many people as you do, help new people, and then also with your leadership?
Yeah, okay. So obviously everything that's in the business activity tracker times whatever I'm trying to achieve. So that's the basic that I'm doing. But what I have been really running with is my Facebook page and attracting new customers. Like, I lead a lot with fitness, which is sometimes hard because we're very strong in my organization at presenting the fitness, like very, very strong. But sometimes we lack at presenting the coaching opportunity. The consistency with being present on social media, developing a big audience of people that follow me, and converting, like my whole process is to attract new people to my page consistently, organically too, with great posts. But I do invest in my Facebook page too. And that's something I've been doing since day one. And not big amounts of money. Like, when I look at the ROI from what I've invested in Facebook and what I'm getting in return, I mean, it's incredible, the opportunity. So that's something I teach to the team too, that to really start investing in getting new people to follow you. And then I do have like a way where I boost certain posts that I have nothing to do with like a challenge group or anything, just to increase my visibility. The way that I do it, I feel like it's working the best right now, because we know that everything changes all the time. I will typically have an ad to get more people to like my page, and then I will be like my specific target, right, which is women from typically 25 to 35. I try to target new moms. My youngest is 1, so I still just went through the whole process of getting back in shape after having a baby. So I really try to attract my avatar, and that's something I really focus on, like branding yourself on social media, attracting your ideal customer. So having like a clear idea of who you're trying to attract, which is you. So you have to have a really deep understanding of who you are. Same thing with coaching. I'm trying to do that in a nutshell, right? So I'll attract these women on my page, and then I call it the seduction phase, where I'm like, okay, now every post that I make, I got to think of that person who just liked my page yesterday. It's got to be relevant to them, right? So I will do that, and then I'll boost those posts to the people that follow me and their friends, like various posts. So I consistently have like at least, like, I mean, it depends on what I'm investing in. And I'm telling you, you don't have to spend so much money, but I think it's worth it to invest time and energy in understanding what works on social media. Yeah, so I've been very successful at getting new people and converting them to customers or coaches with my page. And then when I go into Team Cup, well, I typically increase my level of activity. So I'll even post more, and then I'll invest more. And yeah, so I'm trying to like start as many conversations as I can. So, and I really strive with the jab, 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 right hook. This is like something I do. I give, then I ask. Join my challenge group, join my team, but I give. It's like Emilie's life, all kinds of things that don't relate specifically to Beachbody or fitness or nutrition. It's just about my life and how I can add value. And yeah, so for me, like being consistent on my page has been huge. Like I said, it's like 99% of my business. Like I know some coaches built with like their family and friends and all that. I'm like impressed, because I'm like, oh man, for me it was a lot easier to talk to strangers. It's so interesting. Yeah, so I'm just like starting to have like family and friends to join in. Maybe I'm exaggerating. So yeah, so that would be it, I think, like in a nutshell. Like it's, and then for my leadership, and then I guess for my leadership, I lead with my results. Honestly, it's I don't think I do anything special like on my page per se, or and something to be said to lead by example. Okay, when we say that coaches will duplicate what you do, and like they're like what we focus on, it expands. Like it's amazing that we won Team Cup. Like I got to win it 4 times. But what really amazes me, okay, is last Team Cup in the top 10, 8 of the teams from the top 10 are from our organization. That's crazy. Like, I mean, and I'm like, okay, and then people are like, how do you do it? What do you do? And I'm like, you know what? You have to win first. I mean, if you want to, and that's anything. There's something that you're good at. Like, what's your thing? I'm going to challenge you to think, what's your thing? Your thing might be like personal development. Your thing might be to go live on your team page. Your thing might be to, run awesome challenge group. Your thing might be to be like very knowledgeable with nutrition. Whatever your thing is, you can, thrive on. And then if you win with that, then your coach is going to be like, okay, this is the thing that we need to do. And then they have the vision. So like winning it the first time, it made it possible for us French coaches to win the Team Cup. And on the side note, this is not something I share all the time, because I'm like, maybe I'd get in trouble for it, but it doesn't matter. I'll say it anyways. Maybe I already shared it on Brad's Team Cup. The first Team Cup that we won, we were not supposed to be participating. In fact, Quebec, where I'm from, we have very specific rules that are different from the rest of Canada. So like we're the weirdos in Canada, like we're the French Canadian people. They're like, we do everything different. We have our own cultural system, like our own TV shows, like separate from English. And I was having a conversation with Brad about that, like telling him how different it is, like from where I'm from. So we were not allowed to participate in the Team Cup for certain regulations with Lotto Quebec and where I'm from. But we decided to sign up anyways. And we said, you know what, they're going to kick us out, and that's fine. But we're going to sign up and pretend that we're doing the Team Cup. And if they kick us out, we'll still like pretend that we're doing the Team Cup and count our points, and it doesn't matter. And I remember Arnaud telling me, you know, they're going to screen people out from Quebec, and they're going to message you. And then they had messaged me, and they messaged everybody, and I'm like, okay, so how do we do that to replace our coaches? Because I was living in British Columbia back then anyway. So end up not changing anything, and we win the cup. Like we were going to win it. I'm like, and then I was a part of me like, man, I was so scared. I'm like, oh, what if they say you can't win? But we forced the company to make changes so that we can win. Like if there's no door, you gotta freaking build it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't even supposed to be participating in the cup. And then all the cup, they keep changing the rules. We keep winning. So, I mean, oh no, you can be 2 diamonds. Oh no, you can't be. They keep changing it. And I'm like, oh no, it's going to be the Team Spirit was won by one of my top leaders, Geneviève, and her organization. It's not just Team Cup. It's also like the Fall Classic. I think 1 or 2 teams from our downline. Anyway, so I really think like you got to win. You have to create those wins for yourself. Then you're creating the vision. You're showing your team that it's possible for them. If Jessica did it, Brad did it, I can do it too. I know them. You know, they're people just like me. Now I know that it's possible for me too. I think it might sound simple, but that's the only thing we can do.
I love it. 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 Emilie, we are so grateful for you, my friend. So grateful for you. There are just so many aha moments from this call. It's one of the best calls that we've had. It's very eye-opening to a lot of things that I need to work on. And I know whether you're a brand new coach or been around for 6-7 years, whatever it is, Jesse, however long you've been around, like grandma coach over there, no matter how long you've been around, there's just so much to take away from this. So we're so grateful for you and all the knowledge and wisdom you brought to us. And thank you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, guys.
Guys, this recording will be posted in the team page tomorrow morning. I won't wait until the weekend, again, I promise. This recording will be posted in the team page tomorrow. But everyone have a wonderful rest of your night. And Emilie, thank you again. You guys have a great night. Talk to you guys soon.